finna get your ass the game, man. You know I break it down. Come on, man, you know it's Bain.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Big Bain in this thing. Today, guys, we're gonna be talking about how to use a trailing stop loss with Tradelocker. All right. First, we'll go over what is a trailing stop. Then we'll talk about why would you actually want to use a trailing stop, right? So there's different scenarios where you want to use it, and some scenarios you may not want to use it. So we'll break that down. All right. Next, we'll talk about where can you actually find the trailing stop loss option in Tradelocker. So yeah, they released the feature and we all know about it, but a lot of people don't even know where it's at to enable it or to use it, and we'll talk about that. All right. And then last but not least, guys, we'll get into all the details on how to actually use it. All right. So stay tuned. All right. First, all right, before we jump in, guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for me. Y'all know I really appreciate the love when you guys do that. So, get to that right now. Hit those buttons. You feel me? But don't forget to turn on notifications too. All right. The rest of the year, guys, I will be turning up with my videos. All right, guys. You guys will be getting education that is going to get you absolutely paid. I promise. I break down every little details. You'll get insights with me and my members and how we get down, and why you'll probably want to just come on over and join the squad in my Discord by going over to forexwithbain.com, clicking on the link for the Discord. And guys, if you're watching this video before the 13th of July, I still have my 4th of July special going on. The code is BBIDF. Boom. That's going to get you 50% off any one of the subscriptions that I have in my Discord. So don't miss out on that. All right. But with that being said, guys, let's get to it. All right. So what is a trailing stop? All right. It's pretty simple, guys. All right. Let's say you were going to get in for a buy right here on the Euro USD. All right. So mark that as green. And then let's say you put your stop loss right here. All right. We'll mark that as red. All right. Now, once you're in this trade, all right. So here, all right, it is rising right now. But once you're in this trade, as price rises, right here, with the normal stop loss, this price would not move. All right. So price will go up. You may start making money. You'll be in profit, but your stop loss is not going to change. All right. It's going to stay still. And no matter what the trade does, let's say it goes up and then it starts to come down. Well, eventually when it gets to this area or this line, your stop loss price, it'll close you out of the trade. Right. But that's a situation where you could have been in profit right up to here. But because you did not close out the trade, it eventually turned around, right? So it went up, you were in profit, but eventually, it found some kind of, resistance area, some kind of supply zone, and it rejected from it, and then it started to come down, and then it hit your stop loss, all right? So that is, a static stop loss, right? A trailing stop loss, all right, is pretty simple. Right. So as price goes up, right, your stop loss will basically trail, right? Your trailing stop will move as price goes up. So how much will this move depends on what you set it to, right? And that's going to be one of the things that we're going to cover in this video, right? So again, static stop loss is one that, when you set it, is set. Right? It doesn't move whatsoever, no matter what price does, right? And sometimes that's good, right? But, we'll talk about those scenarios. But what we really want to know is how do we get price, when price is going in our favor, in this case up because we're in a buy, how do we get this stop loss to trail it as price continues going up? And then this just keeps going up with it, right? That goes up, you make more money, all right? And we have the stop loss move where it's locking in all the money that you're making as price is going up, right? That's what a trailing stop loss is in a nutshell, right? And let's just flip it, all right? Let's say you got into a sell, all right, right here. Well, price is right here right now, all right? So you got into a sell, and here's your stop loss way up here, all right? Same thing. As price is going down, all right, your stop loss is going to trail by so many pips, a percentage, a dollar amount, or whatever you specify when you set or enable the trailing stop. right? In Tradelocker, that is. There's a lot of different ways to do it with other platforms. They're not all the same, right? You guys know about MT4, MT5, and maybe some other proprietary trading applications and software that they're all different in how you enable trailing stop or set it, the parameters for how you want it to operate, right? But again, the gist of it is that when you begin to move, when price begins to go in your direction or in your favor, the stop loss will trail, right, to lock in as much money as humanly possible, all right, before price goes against you, okay? And this is a very, very good thing. So just in a nutshell, that's what a trailing stop is, all right? Let's move on over to why would you want to use a trailing stop loss? All right, so why would you want to use a trailing stop loss, guys? Pretty simple. You want to lock in money as you get it, right? You want to lock in your profits as you get it. And it's just that simple, right? So here, let's skip the theoretical, right? Let's get rid of that and get rid of this. And let's actually go ahead and purchase this Euro USD for a buy. All right, so I'm going to hit stop loss. And in TradingView, you can see that it pops up in drafts. That's how you know you're still editing where you want your stop loss to be. So I'm going to put it behind this low. All right. And then I'm going to crank it up a little bit on the lot size. I'm going to give it a mini lot instead of a micro, and I'm going to hit buy. All right. So right now, everything is static, guys, meaning if price goes up and it goes in our favor, yeah, we'll make money. OK, but we won't lock in any of that money, right? So a trailing stop loss to me, guys, is like having my own AI, right? Or having a clone version of me, right? Who's constantly on the charts, just making sure that every time I make a dollar, it's gonna either minimize my risk, right? So in this particular trade, you guys can see when I click on it, right? Over here in the lower left, you can see that. Let me get rid of this and push it on over. You guys can see that I'm risking to lose $11 on this trade. All right. So that clone version of me, right, will say, okay, what if I'm up $11? Well, this will, if I have it trailing by 11 pips, okay, because I have a mini lot on the Euro USD, that means I'm making $1 per pip. So if I'm up $11, I would want to be able to lock that in, right? So that it doesn't go against me and I end up losing $11, right? So the way that you do that, right, is you edit, click here again. And here's where the trailing stop loss is, guys, right here. Okay. So you'll click on it. You'll hit confirm just to make it trailing, right? We haven't adjusted any of the parameters, right, for what we want, but just hit confirm. Boom. All right. So now what you notice, you probably didn't notice it, but before it just says stop loss, but now it has a T in the front. That's how you know that you have trailing stop loss activated, right? Another way that you can tell is if you go to the trading panel, right, and you look at the order that you're currently in, right here, it'll have a little T next to your stop loss. All right. So if you don't see that T, chances are you don't have that stop loss enabled. All right. So again, here you can turn it off if you want. Just click it, confirm it. Boom. The T is gone. It just says stop loss. And here on your orders under stop loss, you no longer have that T sitting next to it. All right. So let's go ahead and click on the trade once again. Let's make it trailing and confirm. All right. So now, again, this is, the market is going right now. So if the euro dollar starts to push up, you will see that your trailing stop loss will start to move up as well. All right. All right. So now where do we find the trailing stop loss? And obviously I pretty much jumped the gun on that already, guys. And you guys see where we can find it. All right. So I'm going to get out of this trade. And now I see that the Euro USD is falling a little bit. So I'm just going to take it for a sell. All right. So I'm going to put up the order panel again. You guys can get to that by just hitting the letter O. That's a quick shortcut. All right. But here, first thing I always do is I hit stop loss. All right. and I place my stop loss where I want it. You got to make sure that you switch the side. All right. So if you guys don't know how to use Tradelocker, man, I get the two mixed up. I have a video on how to, use Tradelocker. All right. So go check that out. But here I'm hitting sell to switch it over to sell. Here's where my stop loss is. So now when the window's like this, guys, when you see the arrow pointing up, it's collapsed. This window's collapsed. So if you hit that arrow, it expands it so you can see, all the details on how you actually want to make the trade. So when it's collapsed, it's just, they already give it to you in a very compact kind of way. So you can still hit everything that you need. But, if you just want to get a bigger or more detailed view of it, go ahead and hit that arrow to expand it, and bada bing, bada boom. All right. Because see, you can't see that trailing stop loss unless you do that. So that's the key part. All right. So without it, you can't really, enable it. All right. So you got to hit that expansion arrow, then put on trailing stop. All right. All you do is click it. Once it's blue, it is activated. All right. And now you can see once again that T goes into the front of where you see the stop loss. All right. And again, when it's draft, it's not set in stone. We're still editing it. Only when that word draft goes away will, we be in the trade and we'll be set. All right. So you got 4 options, right? You can set it by the price. So I see this price up here, 1.08400. What if I change it to that, right? So I'm going to go 1.08400. All right. And what do you know? That's exactly where the stop loss went to. So now, if I hit that, right, and I do sell, let's make it a mini. All right. Kaboom. Right. So now you can see over to the left, here is where my stop loss is. And here is my position that I'm in right now. And what price is going to do is it's going to trail by that price point. All right. So yes, this is a certain amount of pips. We don't really know. I mean, we can check it, right? And it looks like it's 109 ticks, which is really like 10 pips for the most part, right? On Euro USD, all right? And then you can see our profit. The loss, the amount that we're going to lose is $10. And again, we're in a mini lot. So that makes sense, right? It's an easy way for you guys to kind of determine how many pips there is, right? But again, this is where you find it. This is where you click on it to enable it. And then, obviously the last thing that we're going to cover is all the details on how to actually use it. Here's one of them, right? So setting it by a particular price that you want it to trail from. All right. You can also have it ticks, right? So this says 109 ticks. So what if I change it to 209 ticks? All right. Now you can see that I'm risking $20. Right? Instead of the $10 that we were before. And look, we can't even see it. So now we got it. There it is. Now it's way up here. And it tells you, right, exactly. This is one of the things that we love about Tradelocker is that, it gives you your risk, your reward, how much, what the percentage of your account that you're risking. And it even tells you, it's all right here. Like we don't even have to really look on the charts. Everything is right here in this order window. And it's just a beautiful thing. All right. So again, you can change it by the price. You can change it by the ticks, which is really the pips, right? And you can do by the dollar amount. So let's say you want to risk $40, right, on this trade. Well, guess what? That's going to be 40 ticks. It's going to be at that price, right? And that's 0.04% of your capital, right? Guys, this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right. But let's go ahead and switch it back to 10, right? 109. All right. So there's the 10 pips. Okay. And I guess that's what it was already at. So I'm just going to discard it because if I changed it, let's just do 209. All right. And now you can see that was a change. So now the blue button becomes enable for us to confirm that change. And I'll just go ahead and hit it. So, we'll have it set. All right. So I'll get rid of this order window and you guys can see, my hot pink going on here, but we are set for price to trail. So the moment price starts falling down, this will also start to go down. Now here's the beauty. If price starts to rise up, this won't move, right? So if any of you guys are wondering that, that's that, right? And you can always adjust this whenever you feel like it, right? So if you feel like, hey, I want to just, make it like this, right? Boom. So you're risking less, right? You're going to trail it by 7 pips now. You can go ahead and confirm that, right? And that's easy peasy, okay? So that's really all there is to a trailing stop, okay? The only other difference is, what scenario would you prefer to use a trailing stop? All right, Bain, what do you do, for your trailing stop? To be honest, guys, it varies, right? You know what I mean? But I always look to set at least, a 25 pip trailing stop, somewhere along those lines, because I like to let my trade breathe, right? Give it some room to actually drop, about a good 50 pips before I lock in about 25. And the reason for that is, guys, if you have a stop loss that's really tight, right? So let's say, we bring this down more like this, and this is a 2, I'm going to risk $2 on this. So that's a 2 pip stop loss. So price can easily, right, just push down, okay, boom, like this. And yes, my trailing stop loss will be neck and neck with it, right? So here's price here, and here's my stop loss. But the problem is it can go like this, stomp me out, and then go in my favor, right? That is a pain, knowing that you missed out on the opportunity to make all of this money. So, it's very difficult to give anyone, what they should use as a trailing stop loss, because it's not that generic, right? It's the same shoe doesn't fit everybody, right? It's that kind of scenario. So you're going to have to figure out what works best for you, right? How many pips are you trying to catch on a particular trade, right? So the way I do it is it's usually half, right? So if I'm looking to catch 50 pips, I want to trail it by 25 pips, right? If I'm looking to catch 100 pips, I want to trail it by 50 pips. And again, this is all to let the trade breathe. So here, this is a 50 pip drop, but I have a 25 pip trailing stop. So out of this 50 pip move, my trailing stop is going to be right here, right? 25 pips away. And again, that's going to allow it to even pull back, right, about a good 20 pips, which is pretty good, and then still continue in my favor. And then at that point, it'll just keep dropping and dropping and dropping, 25 pips, every time it drops 25 pips. So this is just a really good tool to use, guys. It is one that will help you lock in a lot of profits, especially when the trade goes in your favor. And it's almost, to where like when any broker or any platform doesn't have it and doesn't offer it, it is a pain, because you can always be up in the trade, but if you're not paying attention to it, because we're not robots, right? We have lives, we have kids, we have events and things that we want to do and be a part of, and we can't always just stare at the chart. So guys, if you're looking for a way to make your money grow while you're out doing your thing, start using a trailing stop loss. All right. And if you got any comments or any questions about, I guess what's best, or, how is it calculated, things like that, put it in the comments. Let me know, right? We can talk about it for sure, or just come on over to the Discord, because that's where we really get it in. All right. But in the meantime, in between time, guys, I think that'll do it. All right. It's your boy. Peace.
Want to get money? Want to get paid? Master Forex? Like a sensei? Then you know you got to come and swing my way. And if you want to fast forward, hit replay.